What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome to the Lazy Ass Samurai YouTube channel. And today we're going to dive, it's a little if you know, you know. We're gonna dive into A Quiet Place Part 2. I just saw it yesterday, and I thought, hey, why not? I want to put a video out. This is probably the easiest one I can do. So usually I kind of want to structure these videos as things I like, things I didn't like, and just any overall thoughts after the fact, but I want to say this movie was pretty solid in my book. We're talking hour and a half, maybe hour 37-minute runtime. Pacing was solid. And then that brings me to actually 3 points. So today, instead of talking about things I liked, things I didn't like, because I can't say there's a lot I didn't like about this film, especially because I haven't seen the first one in years. So I didn't really have any expectations going into this. I would like to point out three main things that I liked about this film. Like three things about this that makes me want to recommend it to you. Because bottom line, if you don't really want to sit here for another couple minutes while I talk about it, go see it. That's my big verdict on it. And if you have seen it, feel free to shout out in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. What did you like about it versus the first one? What would you like to see done differently? What do you think was done well? Because I like that. I like when people leave comments. I like chatting with y'all. Even if it's just random. Just go ahead and leave a comment. But with that, I'm going to talk about the three things I really liked. First, the tone. The tone of the film was like so cohesive. It was like so... It didn't feel like one moment there'd be like just a scene where you're just thinking it wasn't necessary. Like, I feel like it was the suspense and the tone of it. Like, the movie knew what it wanted to do. The movie knew what kind of tone it wanted to set. And from the first scene, it set that right off the bat. Like, it's letting you know, hey, these things aren't to be trifled with. These monsters aren't to be trifled with. This world, when it comes to silence, it is golden. It's called A Quiet Place, even though these some loud ass movies. But I wanted to say the tone definitely nailed it. I want to say that's the one thing that kept me awake. Because I'm honestly running off like 3-4 hours of sleep on average for the past maybe 4 days. So I will admit, I was in the theater. I was posted up in that Dolby Digital Cinema Theater, just comfortable in that recliner. But not once did I recline, and I was on my seat the whole time. I almost dozed off until a jump scare got me, and then I was wide awake again, and I couldn't go back to sleep because I can't trust that. So that was the first thing. The second thing, I really like when a sequel is set up so well that it could work as its own standalone film. If you know what I'm saying, like, obviously there's reoccurring characters, there's plot elements that are obvious continuations from plot elements in the first installment of a film. But what this movie does, what A Quiet Place 2 does really well, is that it goes onward to be its own standalone thing. You know? Like, I could say that I haven't seen A Quiet Place, like the first one, probably since the year it came out. And I can't even remember when that was, I want to say. Because I watched it once in theaters with my folks, and then after that I watched it a second time with some friends afterwards. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't remember too much of it. I remember the big things, like the whole implications that it meant for this movie. But at the time, I didn't think it needed a sequel. Heck, even the cast didn't think it needed a sequel. But this movie, A Quiet Place 2, does what it does so well that you don't need to have seen it. You wouldn't have needed to see the first one to see it. Like, you can go into A Quiet Place 2 and you don't even need context, because the way that this film opens up, if you've seen the trailers, you know what I'm talking about. The way this film opens up, it shows you day one of this. Because the first movie started off with like we're in the hundreds at this point. Like, I think they're already almost into a full year of these shenanigans. But in this second one, it opens up with day one, the first day when this all happened. Like, everyone's happy, everyone's chill, it's cool. Then you see the monsters pull up, and you're just like, wow, they mean business. And with everyone screaming and running and doing the opposite of what they're supposed to do, which makes sense. I mean, these things show up. What are you gonna... I mean, you think you're just gonna be quiet the whole time? No, you're wrong. But it really does kind of provide enough context for you that you can go into this film like, okay, so they gotta be quiet. If they're not quiet, they're dead. That's really the only thing you need to know going into this movie. And that's about it, if I'm being real with you. That's why I like about it so much. Like, this movie, I feel like, I personally know, I haven't seen the first one in a while, but I was able to watch the second one and not feel like I'm being left out of anything, or ever feel like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, of course, it's such a simple premise, but it's done so well. And then finally, for the third thing, those monsters. I feel like, from what I remember, we didn't see too much of, like, the threat in the first movie, but in this one, they hit it hard. Like, they bring it home. Like I said, you see day one, these things pull up to kill. There's no reasoning with them. There's no understanding them. You fart in the woods, a silent fart in the woods, probably the next 3 seconds you're gonna die, because these things are quick, they're ruthless, they're vicious, and they're one shots. Like, they're one hit, one kill wonders. Like, these things will come, just murk people. Like, just the strength and the speed and just the effects, just the way the movie made these monsters look intimidating. Like, you can see probably concept art of it, or you can even see a snapshot of it, and you're just like, oh, that thing looked ugly. It looks like, a anorexic Demogorgon. Even though Demogorgons from Stranger Things are kind of already kind of skinny. But, they got the flower head and these things. Anyways, you can look at it in any picture. Like, I can show you a picture of these things, and you're like, oh, yeah, no, I'd pull up on that thing with, like, a shotgun or something. But you can't, because they're just that fast. And, you have to see the movie to actually be afraid of them. Like, I thought, for a good hour after seeing the movie, I'm just sitting here like, wow. Yeah, no, there's no surviving that. If one of those things were, like, within your vicinity, you're dead. You're done. So, I just love how they just up the ante. Like, it was kind of like a mystery in the first one. You're like, oh yeah, these things are quick, they're really fast, and you barely see them. But in this one, you're like, wow, I know what they look like, I know what they built like, and I know what they run like. And I can't do anything about all three of those things. So that's overall what I felt was so good about this movie that I would recommend it. I'd even go see it again. I feel like it's something I would go see again. It's a really good film. I recommend seeing it in theaters, though, because some scenes where it's just silence and then bop, you don't expect it. Or even when you do expect it still sometimes hits. I don't know. But I recommend seeing it in theaters. Go check it out. I'm sure it's going to be there for a couple weeks, so y'all got time. Those of you who are actually going to see this video. Those of you who don't, I hope y'all do, I don't know, find the urge to go see it, because it's still a pretty good movie. So that was it. That was pretty much my overall thoughts on the film. Thanks for tuning in. I just figured it'd be an easy video to get out this week. I will be working on something already in the works of talking with a friend. We're going to partner up and do something big about something that's really good. And I'm pretty sure y'all are already going to know what it is. But stay tuned for that. I do appreciate everyone watching. Like I said, feel free to shout off in the comments about what you thought about the movie if you've seen it. And with that being said, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay lazy. I'll see you guys next time.